Hello everyone, welcome back. Have you ever noticed how if we disagree with or say something against the grain, say something against a narrative, we're badged in a certain way? Far left, far right, right wing, racist, phobic, any of those things. It's becoming more and more relevant. You know, if somebody turned up and called me the R word now, I'd turn around and say, yeah, I am. What are you going to do about it? It's the only way you diffuse their argument. In fact, there is no argument. It's been used so many times. Left and right, far left, far right, these are all terms bandied about by people in political establishments. They're all terms bandied about by people that are brainwashed. Yes, brainwashed by those same political establishments. Do they have any meaning any longer? I don't think so. Do you? We all care about the country in our own way. We all care about what happens to the country in our own way, and depending on our upbringing, our breeding and everything else, it's, you know, we come at it from a different point of view, don't we? Some you'd consider right, some you'd consider left, and never the twain shall meet in the middle. But one thing that should unite us all is this country, is England, is Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. That should be all that matters, as well as your families, your friends, your loved ones. Not left, not right. I read a paper not so long ago, actually, where it was described that all of these terms were used as a construct to divide us. Literally divide us. So all the while we're arguing amongst ourselves, they have an element of control over what's going on. That's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? Now, one of the key arguments with people on the left and people on the right are people that came into this country, be it illegally, legally, whatever. We all have our different viewpoints. Those on the left tend to be very sympathetic. Those on the left tend to come out in support of. And those in the left will have a go at those on the right if there is any perceived issue, any perceived disagreements. Now, I want to call out Nigel Farage. Not a fan, as you know, but I will call things out I agree with as well as the things I don't. Have a listen to this. It's very interesting.
And what a telling moment. The leftist stand up to racism were there with their banners.
There's no need for that. We're on the same side, bro. No, we're not. Yes, we are, bro. No.
Maybe one day, the deluded left will wake up to realise they've been with very strange bedfellows.
So what you basically saw was a small video clip of a march where the leftists were there in support of the people marching down the street. One of them obviously got insulted. Hello, bro, there's no need for that. We're on the same side. Oh, no, you're not. Very telling, that one, isn't it? Oh, no, you're not. And if you read, if you look into and if you research this further, you will see what's going on. And it is actually very, very frightening what we've allowed to happen by our own apathy, by our own ignorance, by our own inaction. And we sit here arguing between ourselves, calling each other left, right, phobic-ist. It's a load of old bullshit. And people like this gentleman here paid a price. A local well-loved bin man who was out walking his dog and never came home. That's the kind of thing we're dealing with, and people tend to ignore that. What we need to do now is come together as a people. We need to come together as citizens of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. And peacefully, we need to say, we've had enough of this garbage. Otherwise, what's the alternative? Let me give you a thing about left and right. I'm going to give you two scenarios. And you tell me what you think. The first one. Somebody's committed a horrendous, horrible crime against a child. You use the darkest pits of your imagination and come out with the most horriblest crime. They're convicted and found guilty. Do you think they should swing? Well, that's actually a very right-wing way of putting it. If you answered yes, store that in your memory bank just for a second. Let's have a look at the other side of the coin. There's a friend you have, or a neighbour or an acquaintance who's disabled. Big trouble in their life, they can't get about and everything else. Do you think that they should have every bit of money thrown at them, every bit of assistance thrown at them? They should want for nothing, be well looked after. Don't worry, the state will ensure you're okay. If you answered yes to that, that's a very left-wing way of looking at things. The point I'm trying to make is there's no left, there's no right. There's literally right and wrong, and people need to wake up to that. People need to see that. You know, in Parliament, for example, we see all the corruption, we see all the bullshit, and we see all the wasted words there. But years ago, and this is how it should be, these people were actually nominated, voted by us. We lend our sovereignty to them, and they go into that place and represent us and our interests. Normal people. That's what this is all about at the end of the day, normal people. And we've allowed our home to be occupied. England is under constant attack all of the time because they know the Constitution is the solution. They wouldn't want to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And again, just to remind you, at 4:30 this afternoon, I'll be talking to Graham Moore of the English Constitution Party. Make sure you tune in, and I look forward to talking to you then. Toodaloo.